Fuck out of here, fool.
This is where you come to be locked in a conversation. Facts, news, opinions, debating on all the latest. Won't say that we the best, just mention us with the greatest. Even words you heard before gon' sound better when we say it. Got my ear to the streets, but my eye to the sky. I look up at the clouds, I'm thankful to be alive. Every day's a special guest, I'm thankful that it arrived. I've been blessed by the best, if you know him, you know the vibes. I've been out here chillin' with my co G Dylan, who got his own opinions. I let him tell you what is it. Out here kicking more for less, and you don't really wanna miss it. So subscribe to the channel, leave a like with every visit is 10.
All right. We're back at you once again in 1011 Showcast. I'm your host, DJ 1011. My co-host,
G Dillon.
G Dillon is in the building with 1011. What's happening, G-Ball?
Same, man.
Same. Back at you.
Grinding, doing what we do.
Yeah, you got the grind, man. You can't cheat the grind either. You can't cheat it, man. You know how I know you can't cheat? I tried to cheat it before. I tried to cheat that grind before, man. Hey, it don't work, man. It don't work. Try to keep that grind.
You can't cheat the man at that job either, man. They got their money's worth this week.
They got their money worth out you? Probably ain't did nothing.
Man, they got their money's worth.
Probably ain't did nothing, man. Hardly working. Tell me you working hard. But yeah, man, people like to see all this fake stuff and think you can cheat the grind and this person won overnight or this person won the lottery, man. The odds of doing that. And the social media, the influencers.
Social media to send them off.
That set them off.
Send them off on some bullshit.
He said they had they on a plane and shit motherfucker be at the window in their house.
Well, like we was just talking about the job. Like these youngsters come in and they act like, they see what they think is success. So they coming in and they there a couple of months. They talking about when they getting promoted.
When they get promoted. Hey, and in them couple of months, they might miss 5 days.
Yeah,
when they get promoted.
First of all, they was trying to promote you last week, but you wasn't here.
Exactly. You complaining, and them 2 months you missed 5 days. Yeah. And they talk about when I'm getting promoted.
Your paperwork fucked up.
They gave G this promotion. They gave 10, 11. Yeah, I've been here 7 years and they said nothing. You think that just came overnight? That don't work like that. Yeah. They got to see that you're reliable. They got to see that you're willing to grind. They got to see that this is a big thing that everybody always want to skip out. Got to be able to get along with people. What they got to do with my work? It got a lot to do with your work. You disrupting the work culture. You think if you come up here, G, every day and we record and you just caused a bunch of problems with people and you giving me pushback, I'm good at what I do. No, that go hand in hand. People seem to think that they don't have to get along with people, and as long as I do my job, I
had to explain to somebody how, they talking about how they interested in being promoted, but they don't get along with their manager.
How's that gonna work?
I'm like, I don't know what you thinking, but if you put in for whatever role it is, the first person they gonna talk to
is your manager. Exactly.
I was like, you can't skirt around that. I can't say you can't, but it's tough.
It's tough sledding.
It's tough.
What they say when you told them that? Like, I don't know how you think that works.
I just can't really stand his ass, and I'm like, yeah, well, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
He's in good standing in this building.
That's why he's a manager.
So he's a manager here. So they gonna rely on his opinion. Yeah, period.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't understand how you think. Just say you leaving here, the cameraman or whoever leaving the show, and they going to try to do something. I use you as a recommendation. You use me as a recommendation. You don't get along with me. It shouldn't matter. I was at work. Dude, it do matter. I hear that way too much amongst people. It don't matter as long as I do my job. And it does matter, man. It does matter.
Because there's a lot of people doing their job.
Yeah. Because I'll take a person who 75% good as you is with a great attitude and all of that over you, though. I just take that.
Particularly when you're in an organization, at a company, at a factory, whatever, that's producing and that's making its numbers, there's a whole lot of people out there doing their job.
Exactly.
So, it comes down to some of the little things.
It comes down to the little things.
And when you look at a specific workforce, you got a lot of people who are doing a role that they like doing. They really don't have any ambitions in terms of moving forward. So
right. Some people happy, yeah.
Then you got the people who they be a little shaky. They have some issues. You got people with the attendance issues. You got people who have some work-related issues. So you push them aside. So now you got 15, 20% of people that you're competing with.
Exactly.
And so you all, most of these jobs, there ain't rocket science out here. So it ain't a whole lot to do necessarily. So for you to think that you doing this is supposed to just propel you above everybody else, everybody out there doing that.
Cause I already know for myself, like, two of the great qualities, I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do. You're going to know I'm going to be able to laugh. If I give him this workload, he say he can do it, he's going to do it. And then he's going to have a great attitude about doing it. Even though sometimes I might be walking away like, man, I don't feel like doing this shit. But they'll never know that. You want to challenge them, but what is G Dillon doing? Why he can't do it? I asked you to do it. You know what I'm saying? I asked you to do it. You want to get promotion, I'm asking you to do something. And then that's what you doing. I might be like, damn, I don't want to do this, but I know this the game I got to play. And I'll be like, man, gee, I don't want to write this paper. When you in school, you don't want to write these papers, but you know you got to do this
do what you gotta
to
do.
get this, especially if you're striving to be valedictorian. You know, like, man, I got to be on my shit. You can't be like, well, I only missed 4 papers. That don't work. You got this, but I ain't missed no papers. You know what I'm saying?
I had to tell a youngster one time, they comparing themselves to me. Well, you did something. Whoa.
How many years you
Hey,
got?
man, I got some years.
Exactly.
I got some years over here. You might want to compare yourself to somebody else around here.
I was here before you was born. I was doing this job.
And then you don't know what my arrangements are.
Yeah.
You don't. What I got going on.
You don't.
You know.
You don't know what I prepared this company from the start to now. You looking at what you looking at now, but they might say, man, G was here from the ground, and he helped propel this. 2002, he helped us to make $800,000 that you don't know about. So he's in good standards, but that comes from what we say, the social media influencers. People see that, think people getting rich overnight, and people all on the microphone cussing, and, well, he got money here, they on there just talking stuff and all that, but it don't work like that. Behind that, when them cameras come off, they still got a boss they talk to. He tell them, whoa, you got to cut that out. Stephen A. Smith, you see him hollering all that. Trust me, when them cameras go off, and you want that money, and they tell him to stop doing so, he stop doing it. That's just how it goes. I don't care what you think you see. It's stuff go on when them cameras go off. Yeah, I know he be saying what he want to say. That don't work like that.
They made him start his own podcast.
Yeah. They made him start. If you want to be cussing, you can start. And they could have told him you couldn't do that if they don't want him to. And then work here, you can do that or you can do this. That's what come with the game. Is you can do that or you can do that. Man, you got a partnership. If you want to start something else, it's only right that you come to me and be like, well, I kind of want to do a spinoff of this. And the same here. Well, we still got our thing, but I kind of want to do a spinoff because it just ain't good for business. For you to be like, well, I ain't got to tell him that. That just ain't how that work. It just, you're supposed to have that cohesiveness,
And from the perspective of the influencer deal, to me, it's a lot more insidious stuff going on with that. You have people out here who are considered influencers who are promoting, things that aren't good for people.
Yeah.
Give
them an example, like something you think.
Like it was a young lady, she passed a couple years ago. She was considered a overweight influencer, and she's
overweight.
She's preaching things that people should have confidence, and people should have body positivity, but she was morbidly obese, and she's basically promoting that's cool that you can do that, and yeah, you can, but don't think that you can do that and be healthy. And it killed her.
Yeah.
It killed her.
And now you got a bunch of people thinking that they can live like that.
So people out here, you fat shaming, just
I never shame nobody.
Whenever you disagree with somebody, people have a tendency to say that you're trying to discriminate or you're trying to be negative, but it's a tight rope that you have to tread when you're dealing with people, because people's feelings are involved.
Yeah.
And you never want anybody to feel bad, and people should feel good about themselves. But people need to understand the truth is the truth.
Yeah.
At some point, and when you're at these extremes, extreme levels of weight, people who are super super tall have a shorter life expectancy. On average. And there's some people out there who can be larger sizes and live pretty long. Those are the exceptions. Those aren't the rule. And so when people are talking about eating better and exercising and doing all that stuff, that's stuff that we all should be doing. I need to eat better and exercise more.
Yeah.
But somebody that's weighing 400 pounds, guess what? They needed that much more.
Yeah.
And to have an influencer out here trying to say, oh no, that's fine. You can do that and you can live how you want to live. And you can. To that point, it's true. But are you prepared to deal with the other side of that?
All the health issues and
your
knees going bad, your hips going bad, you waiting on your back, all that type of stuff. So that's why we got doctors. When you go to the doctor, they tell you. They say, man, like you said, we ain't no big guys, but I go to the doctor, he'll be like, you can lose a couple pounds off of shit for your frame and your height. You know what I'm saying?
And I think the influencer or that whole system or whatever you want to call it, I think they basically prey on the fact that people have in their mind what they want to hear. And what feels good to them.
Yep.
And that oftentimes don't have shit to do with the truth.
No. Because, you tell people shit, they be like, see, he said it too. That don't mean that shit true, though.
People look for things to validate how they feel. And so that's that brings, when that happens in politics, that happens in a lot of things. Yeah. A lot of situations. And that's what happens. So people, and now with the internet being as big as it is, and so many people putting out so much content about a lot of different things, you can find whatever it is you want to hear.
Yeah. Make you feel good about yourself.
I knew it. You know what I mean? Now to get to that, you done found all this other stuff that goes against what it is you're talking about. But as soon as you find that one thing, I knew it, and now you feel good. Now you're feeling good about yourself, and you're moving forward. All right, well that's cool, but just understand, gotta deal with the consequences.
And the internet, like you said, social media. I watch some of these guys, and like you said, I don't like to knock people money, but that's why it comes, like you said, to people teaching people when they're young. Teaching people how to love themselves, teaching your kid how to spot bullshit, because people feeding them bullshit, and just telling them anything. Telling them what like you said, they know how to play on people's mind, and they triggers, like, oh, okay, I see she got low self-esteem. I'm going to big her up and this and that, and they eating it up. I know he want to get rich overnight, so I'm going to tell him we can do this, and this is how people get scammed, and this is how people lose their lives and stuff, because people go on there, they know this girl like to see that I got jewelry, I got money, so he going on that flash, and now robbers targeting you and stuff like that. So it's like a double-edged sword with that shit, man. You got to be like real careful.
But people need to understand, most of these people lying.
Super lying.
Like,
because I know
what would you guess is the percentage of people
that's telling the full truth? Because we all lie to a certain extent, but just telling
a close to
98% of the shit they say the truth, the percentage, I'd say probably 1%, man. That people on there is telling 98% truth. An influencer that's on there. What you think?
It might be a little higher than that.
What's a little higher?
It ain't much.
It ain't double figures?
It ain't double figures.
That's what I'm saying.
Because people, and maybe I'm speaking from a old mindset, the people who really about it,
They don't talk about it like that.
They don't talk about it because they too busy doing it. They ain't got time to be out here bullshit like that. They don't have that kind of time.
Bingo, amigo.
They ain't got that
That's
kind
it.
of time. So somebody who can sit up here and post some bullshit.
They got all this going on, but every day.
They making all this money, they doing all this, but they got time
But
to
you post every day. Yeah.
to your dumb ass. No.
If this ain't your main source of income, yeah, you telling me you doing this and you running this business and I made this business trip. How? You on this motherfucker all the time. You ain't telling me this your main source of income. You telling me you do this and that. Impossible because I see you on this all the time. Ain't no different from you going somewhere in your neighborhood and I got this going on. Man, every time I come out this house, I see you right here on the corner. So you either I'm crazy or you lying. Something going on. So people gotta, like you said, just live in reality. I like to call Alice in Wonderland. You gotta get out of Wonderland, Alice.
And it's getting
worse.
Reality is becoming elusive.
Yeah, it is. What about the AI thing?
Exactly.
The AI thing.
People can invent a reality that you can't tell the difference.
And it's hard to really. But that's what I'm saying. You being a person and you growing up with just use your own brain, you just know like that can't be
true.
Don't
make sense.
Yeah, just you be like, it can't be true. But people, like you said, if they see it or hear it, they be like, I heard it. You know what I'm saying?
So I've been trying to give this some thought. And
with artificial intelligence?
And I'm wondering if it is that I feel like I'm experienced enough to kind of be able to tell when something just don't sound quite right or it's just not making sense.
That come with experience though.
Or is it that I just don't give a shit? And so I don't care whether it's true or not. I don't care because it has absolutely no effect on me. So I don't care.
I think you just like me though. You just know like, okay. Just say if this person is social media influencer, he using AI, he is making this bunch of money and all that shit. How that shit gonna help me though? Like you living this life, you riding these yachts and all that. You be looking like I gotta go out and get my own money. How the hell is this gonna help me out? Cause people tend to watch shows and reality shows and look at shit and think like, oh man, they got this. And okay, like how that's gonna help you out? You sitting here watching them all day. You know what I'm saying? Like,
to me, especially the AI deal, it's most insidious and it's most problematic, particularly when it comes to like politics and policy and how people react and how people vote, how people basically move in the world. Because they can basically just kind of make this alternate reality that looks perfect. And so it's hard for people to determine and decide and figure out where to find the truth. Yeah. You know, because people could say and do all kinds of stuff. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be AI, but like, the ability to manipulate video and whatnot. You know, like we were laughing about how they had the memes with LeBron, and they had him talking about D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, and they had him on the skirt and all of that type of shit.
You know, and he says he's sitting there. It looked like
a regular
interview and all of that.
And some people believe that. Some people be like, you see what LeBron said?
Yeah, LeBron said he was dogging D'Angelo
I be like,
Russell.
man, that ain't real. But you get...
But I'm sitting there, I'm like, Brian don't talk like that about other
You
players.
just know that in your head. And then that come from people be hating on them so bad that you want to hear that. You want to hear that. But if you use your brain, you'll be like, much as I don't like him, he ain't finna go that wild. He might say a subliminal, but just going in, he might throw a little subliminal shot. Well, the coaches or something got to do better, and the rest of the players got to, but he ain't finna just dog nobody on camera. He been in the league 21 years. He ain't never just went out. J.R. Smith made the most worst play ever, and he ain't winning that. Oh, J.R. Smith, he a dummy. So
that was still his guy.
And that's what I'm saying. You got to use your mind to know, like, he don't. Just if somebody come and tell me, G was talking about you like a dog, and I'll be like, what did he say? You know what I'm saying? What did he tell me what he said? Because I'm thinking in my head, this ain't the G I know. I've been knowing him some years. and he ain't got no track record of that. I ain't never had no problem with him. So tell me what he said. And then I'll be like, no way G told you that. I'm finna call him. No, don't call him. Don't call him. I know, right? No, exactly. And that's what people do.
I've gone through a similar situation. Exactly. You know.
So the scariest thing with AI with me though is just taking jobs. So when I talk to people now, I just tell people, man, it's like the phones, the iOS system. You got to keep updating your system and your knowledge on stuff, man, because all that, man, I ain't trying to learn that computer. Hey, if you going to plan to be out here on the workforce and all that, you got to update your system, man, because you going to be out of a job, man. If you don't know how to work on them, you don't know how to work with it, the machine, you're going to be out of a job, man.
I mean,
that's like what's happening.
People hear about it, and I think they think about it mostly like with entertainment type stuff, movies and whatnot. But man,
taking jobs, man.
They're using these digital technologies. They've been testing semi trucks,
driving
driverless, you know, and that's a big, good paying job in this country.
How many people you know got CDLs? Man, I know a ton of them. And truck drivers.
People make good money doing that.
Yeah.
But they're talking about being able to put a lot of these loads out here on the road without drivers.
So you know what happened. You got to make it to where you know how to work with it or you know how to work on it. Cause they probably gonna have somebody with it, but they can pay him way less than what we paying people.
Well, and then
you know what I'm saying.
But like I was looking at, they even kind of working towards like the next gen, where they'll be able to have you have a truck out there without a driver.
Yeah.
But that truck breaks down.
Somebody meeting.
So a guy's got to go out there to repair it, get it back online.
Exactly.
But they're working on the next gen where they have another machine going out there to fix that thing.
But it always.
So you know, you may have somebody that has to interact with that.
Yeah, that's why I said they ain't gonna never be able to get rid of it, but you gonna have to learn it.
But they pushing that human factor farther and farther down.
You're gonna have to learn it to be in this workforce. If you don't know how to work with it or own it, you're gonna be out. So when I remember the Texas first came out the screen, the touch screen phone. I ain't using that. I'm keeping my flip phone and got rid of that. You ain't had no choice but to learn how to text, use the touch screen. You got to. If you plan on it, you got enough money, you can say I'm done. You done. But if you plan on working out in the workforce, you got to update your system, man. You got to read about it. All the knowledge out here though. They got on YouTube, just like you saying it. We see it coming, and then we just ignore it. You like, man, they driverless trucks. Then they gonna have the other driver, mechanic, which is a machine. Go out and work on that. You know it's coming. So don't act like when it comes, people be like, oh, that ain't gonna happen. No, it's coming.
You know, I watch TV like everybody else. But you got to spend some time watching some TV that actually tells you
that makes sense.
Shit.
Exactly.
You know, you got to watch the Discovery Channel and the Science Network. You got to read a little.
I don't like watching that. Okay.
National Geographic. You gotta enlighten yourself and inform yourself because this stuff is coming. I watched like a whole documentary. They talking about like these companies that are working
and it's
on
scary, ain't it?
Working on these trucks and working on.
And
this
it's
stuff.
scary. You looking like wow. And this real stuff. This ain't nothing makeup. You looking like man.
You know, and it's been having some issues. Like right now, these trucks are out on the road now.
Yeah.
But they have people riding in them. To monitor them to make sure that there's certain things still. Like if there's an accident, can they tell the difference between like a policeman out there trying to wave the truck to the side,
will it move to the side,
directing traffic and that kind of stuff. So I mean, it's a ways away.
It's a way away, but it's coming.
It's coming. Just like your boy Elon Musk with his drive.
With the drive test, they had problems with it, but they still working on it, and it's getting better. And I heard it's getting better, and he's still working on it.
He take them few lawsuits.
Like I said, it probably gonna always be where they got to fear up, but they pushing us back. That mean they can give you less money. They can, cause we don't need you as much, and we only need like 3 of y'all. We don't need 30 of y'all and shit. So if you ain't inventing, if you ain't an innovative person know how to invent stuff. You gotta engulf yourself in this to know how it works. You know what I'm saying? You gotta at least know how it works. Yep. You know what I'm saying? I'll let G handle that. Man, G ain't around. What you gonna do? Yeah. G can leave out of here and die tomorrow. What you gonna do then?
Because doing what we do for a living.
Yeah.
You know, it used to be 3 times, 4 times the number of people working out
Doing that
there.
and that.
And now, you know, you got one person, he can watch 2 or 3 different streams.
Yep. Ain't that crazy?
Because it's all
That
all
wasn't possible
automated.
before, but yeah, that's that technology.
You know, but then now you got the AI that's taking it like on a whole nother level where this machine is out here and it can kind of teach itself as it goes along.
That's smart.
Something can go wrong or something different comes along and it'll figure it out on its own how to make it work to reach the goal that is programmed to reach. Hey man, that's some different shit.
It's scary if you let it be scary.
Oh yeah.
Because evolution comes.
I'm too old to worry about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Evolution comes, so stuff gets scary if you let it scary. You know, if you think you're not able to, because I feel like I can adapt to anything. Like you said, I watch the Idiot Box too, but sometimes I turn on the Geographical, I turn on the Financial Channel, I read a little bit. Sometimes you got to see what's going on out here. It's cool to laugh and watch a silly show, but like G said, hey, you got to put some hours in where you watching something that's beneficial to the brain, that's beneficial to you and your family going forward. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, man, life go by you fast, man. I can just remember when I was 18. You know what I'm saying? Whew. I can just remember. You remember when you was 18, G?
Oh man, like it was yesterday.
Then you see your teacher like, oh, his old ass don't know what he talking about. And now you that teacher age.
I still remember like my kindergarten teacher.
Me too. Miss Riggs. That was my kindergarten teacher.
Miss Kramer.
It's Kramer. Miss Riggs was about an older white lady. Used to wear the big block ass bifocals. I remember Miss Riggs. That was my kindergarten teacher. Ain't that crazy?
Miss Kramer, she was a young white lady.
Kindergarten, man. So when you look at yourself now and you think back on them years, how you feel about it? Just getting old and shit. Because we always said, man, it'd be a blessing to get to that age. Now we get to them ages. How do you feel?
Well,
just mentally and physically.
I'll start this way. I remember my pop. He was probably like in his early 70s, maybe.
Okay.
And I really was kind of messing with him, and I was like, so what's it like, man? He's like, what like? I say, getting old, man, what's it like? He's like, man. He said, I could have imagined it being worse.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
So that being said, I could imagine it being worse. But I feel like, well, let's put it all out there for the Showcast family.
Okay.
I just turned 62 in March. Now, most people say I look pretty good for a 62-year-old
you
guy.
definitely get around and look good for your age.
I feel good, but, it's just kind of weird that, I can still remember when I was out there hooping and doing my stuff and having fun and running around, acting silly.
It feel weird when you think about that.
And then, one morning I get up like I always do. I go in the bathroom, turn the light on. I look in the mirror and my father's standing there. like damn, like when did that happen?
Like yeah, it goes so fast.
And it's funny because as a youngster and as a younger person, people always said that I look like my mother.
Right.
But now, my father's been gone for a few years, and I was at my cousin's house. And his mother, my father's baby sister, she came down the stairs and turned the corner and stopped. And she's like, you look just like
your father and shit.
Yeah.
She got shocked.
Yeah, but I mean, I try to be. I don't want to be like the old guy that hate on everything and can't stand everything.
Yeah.
Like I really have a lot of respect for a lot of younger generation. There's just a lot of stuff that they got going on that
you ain't had to deal with.
I had to deal with, but stuff that I just didn't have a clue about. I think their level of technological savvy is tremendous. The ability they have to find information and get information quickly is amazing. Their ability to, like with music, the technology is allowing people to really be active in music and get involved in music and things of that nature. And at the same time, that's kind of something that makes it kind of shitty because people can get involved in music and not really be that good and kind of make money at it and not be that good.
It's always a gift and a curse to everything.
Because, it's still about putting in your 10,000 hours.
Yeah, to master something.
Yeah, it's still about that. But that's kind of off the subject. But I mean, I appreciate it's a lot of stuff I appreciate, man. I appreciate the convenience of like newer cars and all that. Like I remember when cars had carburetors and the winter get cold and they wouldn't start.
You gotta hit the gas. You gotta hit the gas.
You out there and you gotta put that starter fluid in it, or you gotta
hands cold.
You come out there, it's -10. I said 50% of the hoods on the block is up, and the tow truck driver, he down there with that jumper, and he just like $25 a shot. He make like $500 in a block and whatnot.
Yeah.
I remember all that. So I appreciate like modern shit.
Right.
Bluetooth.
Okay.
I like all of that.
Right.
But just getting old, just on a personal level, I could imagine it being worse. I mean, like I still getting around good. I'm still able to do stuff, but you have like aches and pains that you didn't have before, and exerting yourself is a little different than it used to be. It's harder to stay in shape. Physically fit is harder. You start losing muscle. It's a lot of stuff that goes with it. Stuff that never would. You got to be more careful about the stuff that you eat and the amount of rest that you get. And so, I don't feel like I'm at a point where I'm looking at the end, but I feel like I'm at a point where I have to make decisions and choices that will help me get to the end in better shape.
And you don't want to be all crammed down and you can't get around.
Right. Me and my wife having this discussion a couple of days ago, and I was like, well, I don't have a problem getting old. I just don't want to be, I have a history of dementia in my family.
Okay.
So that kind of worries me. So I'm trying to implement strategies to help improve my odds of that.
And a lot of that come with reading, like we said, just exercising your brain. It's an exercise for your brain.
And and then I didn't get a chance to really say this to her, but I don't want that for her. She's some years younger than me, a few years younger than me, and I don't want to be, because I remember when my father's dementia kicked in, and the stress that it put on my mother. Yeah. I don't want that for my wife. You know what I mean? So I want to be able to go into my senior years still of sound mind and relatively sound body, still up and around. So those are the worries that I have, I guess. But it ain't bad. I'm ready to retire. I'm tired of working.
Oh yeah.
And when I say retire, I'm just ready to do something different. In my life.
Yeah. Because I think when I think about it, like you said, I can think around 18. I'm 40 in my middle 40s to let people know. And like you said, I'll be messing with you. Like old geezer. You be like, well, you gonna get to this age. You know what I'm saying? You hope you get to this age.
And that kind of shit don't bother me.
And be in good health. No, because I'm playing. I strive to get to your age and look good as you and be in shape. But yeah, I mean, like you said, it's pros and cons to it. I can remember I was young, like you said, just as far as physical. So if I hurt myself, I can get up and keep moving. If I fall or something, so I got to be careful with that. You can't be falling, breaking nothing. I fall, I can go to work the next day, fall and break something now, or really fall hard enough. Yeah. You can't get up and go to work. So I miss that type of stuff. Like you said, you get up with the aches and pains, but just the knowledge I learned through the years and all that, you got to live old to get it. You got to live old to get this knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
So you can't say, I don't want to get old. Like, only time you going to get this experience and this knowledge about being out here, like you said, knowing when somebody bullshitting us, like we said, that come with me getting old. So you got to accept that. And like you said, I ain't going to say I don't want to get old or I'm dreading it. No, I just want to be in good health for my age. You can't be 60-something and you feel like you felt when you're 18. I don't care what you eat. How much you exercise. They just don't go like that. I want to feel good for 45-year-old. Like, I feel good. You know what I'm saying? And I go out people say, man, you look good. You know what I'm saying? So I can still run around the block a couple times. Probably I'm be tired as hell, but I can still do that. I ain't abused my drinking. I ain't never did no drugs. I ain't, like you said, I pick up a book and read it, because I have found through studies that help your mind. Because people be like, why you don't get the audio book and listen to it while you working out? So I'm like, no, I want to read.
Having that input through your eyes.
Having it through your eyes.
Your ears.
And I take it in better when I read it. It kind of dissect it better, because I can listen to music all day and be thinking about something else and I ain't heard a word they said. So I know I do the same with the audio book. So like you said, it's the eyes, moving your eyes and working your brain. So that's just how I feel. Like you said, I try to eat a little better. I eat bullshit still, but I do try to eat me some vegetables, some fruits. You got to. Man, I remember I used to eat hot stuff every day. Never had I'm talking about every day.
That's
chips,
asking a lot.
just hot pepper stuff. And I remember the older guys would be like, man, that don't be burning you up. I'm like, nah, man, I'm straight.
Well, it's aspects of like hot food.
Gee, if I eat it 2 days in a row heavy like that now,
can't do it.
Motherfucking ass be raw, man.
So I mean, I guess it's certain stuff that I notice. You know, me and my old lady, you know, we give each other crap all the time. And I was on the floor doing something, like working on something at the house, and like I was like trying to figure out like how to get up off the floor. You know what I mean? Like
you trying to figure out a way to really get up.
You used to be able to have to kind of just roll up.
Oh yeah, you could jump up. Hey, you know you could jump up and don't even.
And so my wife, she's like, no, you got to get up like a baby. You got to roll over and get up like a baby. I'm like, oh.
That's funny. Like you really contemplate like how I'm going to get up, really.
Because you got these aches and pains, like my wrists are sore and that kind of stuff. You know, because I'm still working pretty hard and whatnot. So you're going to be sore. And
that's funny.
Just tickle the shit out of me.
And something so little that you take for granted when you was in your 20s.
And what that made me do was when I thought about it, and then I was watching. There's a doctor that I follow on YouTube, and he specializes. He has a practice that's centered around helping people age better and live healthier, older lives.
What's his name? You don't know his name?
Peter Attia.
Peter Attia. So I'm gonna go look that up.
He
on YouTube.
Yeah, he's got a
Peter Attia.
And he wrote a book about aging, about living longer.
Okay.
I can't think of the name of it right now. But and he talked about like in his practice, they have like a physical therapist there and whatnot, and she teach and they have like specific exercises to teach people how to get up, how to keep their core strong and all that.
Right.
And so I started working on that.
Exercise on how to teach people how to get up. Because they know when you get to a certain age, you can't be jumping up
the therapist, she was saying it has to do with like you begin to lose flexibility in different joints and whatnot. It's not necessarily a strength thing.
Which makes sure. I mean, which makes sense.
But you lose flexibility like in the hips and whatnot and being able to rotate. Yeah. And so it's just a specific exercise that she developed. I never knew that. That they called, it's a patient it is, they named it, and they call it the get up. You know how to roll and swing your leg over. It's kind of involved. But yeah, you know, and then I've had a couple of knee surgeries and shoulder surgeries and stuff. So
shit ain't flexible.
But let me ask you this, and you may not be old enough to have this thought yet, but if you think back, if you could be any age right now, you could pick whatever age. What age would you pick?
What age off the top of my head that I pick? 25. Okay. What about you? And why?
It would probably be like 25 to 30.
Why?
I was probably at the peak of my powers physically. I felt like at that point, mentally, I had figured a few things out. I think I probably wasn't necessarily ready emotionally for a serious relationship necessarily, like to be married necessarily. But I was at a point, I was a decent boyfriend at that age.
And I picked 25 for a lot of reasons you said. Because like you said, physically, felt good, better than you ever have at that point. And then I had my child when I was 24. And a lot of stuff kicked in for me then. But I had lapses in between that, like 28 to where you get to having lapses and all that. If I can go back to being 25, I can still have my child at 24 and all that. Because she matured me a lot. You know what I'm saying? So, but I wouldn't have them lapses in between, I don't think. Now, like, that's just like in hindsight, like you know what you know. But just like you said, physically, I had a lot of sense then at 25. Like you said, I had been out of high school for a while. That's old enough for you to be out of college. Like I said, child was like, man, you got to wake up. So I started, my brain started shifting. I just hate some of the lapses I had. I ain't going to say I hate it because it make you who you is, but I had some lapses that I wouldn't have now if I went back to that age. You know what I'm saying?
I think probably one thing I might change. I might have started like having kids sooner.
You would have.
Maybe like in my 30s.
Okay.
Having kids. I mean,
okay.
Yeah, my son was born.
Because you was 40. Yeah, how old you was when you had
40.
your child? You was 40. Yeah, that's up there, man.
Yeah.
Shit, I was 24. But yeah, I mean, 25 would be a good age. But like you said, we ain't filthy rich. I ain't filthy rich and stuff, but I had a good life, man. I had some illnesses I done overcame, and I done learned how to manage that. Some people die from some of the stuff I was going through and stuff like that. People see me, they be like, man, you look good. I feel good. You know, like you said, I had aches and pain come with the game. But, oh, wow. And I know some younger people look at this and, oh, man, they tell me, let me look in this camera. Hey, all y'all gonna get old. And some of y'all don't care because people be out here don't care. Abuse drugs and alcohol, and they don't care. But some people going to look back and think back to this conversation me and G having that's 28, 30 right now. And they going to be like, man, I remember they was saying that. And I'm experiencing this. I said
that they wish they had taken better care of themselves.
I said when some OGs told me that, and I wasn't listening then. I'm 20 years old. Man, I ain't listening to that.
Now that's one thing I can look back on and feel good about. And my father always tried to impress this upon me coming up. And that's your success depends a lot on how well you can control your vices.
Yep.
You know, he said, you have you drink a little bit and whatnot. He said, oh, that's fine. He said, but there's a point at which it's not fine. And that comes with everything. I smoked cigarettes I was a light cigarette smoker. Mm. But then, I got to a certain point, I'm like, for what? Stop, quit. But yeah, you got to really be able to control how you move and control what you do.
You got to do shit in moderation. Man.
And then, my best friend, we went to college together. And he called me one day, and I was just feeling some kind of way about just
life
in general.
Yeah.
And man, we talk. He's like, man, G, he's talking about stuff that we did. He's like, man, we had a good life.
Great life, man. Great life. And I look back on my life, like I said, I done had some illness problems. Like you said, I done had states in my life I can remember ages where I wasn't too good mentally. I would just used to think negative and stuff people when it came up out of, and I feel good where I'm at. And the mental state I'm in, the physical state I'm in, the financial state I am, it ain't where I want to be in the end, but like you said, like your boy told you, I had a great life. Even if I passed today, I had a great life. I wasn't never really suffering. I wasn't never had to go live in shelters and shit like that. So, you know what I'm saying? I try not to really complain and really be appreciative. This stuff we talking on, man. This stuff costs money. You know what I'm saying? We was able to get this stuff. People can't, you know what I'm saying? People can't even get a meal.
You know me long enough to know that that's what I battle.
Yeah.
Staying positive and being positive.
And that's a big thing.
And looking at the bright side. Yeah. I can, it's easy.
It's easy to look at the dark side.
It's easier for me to fall into the negative side.
That's anybody, yeah.
And, so that's out of anything that I battle, that's what I battle.
And that's where the saying come from, only the strong survive. Because it's easy to get down on yourself and get negative, you strong mentally. It ain't physically. It's how strong you is mentally. Cause like they always say, the body follow the head. You know what I'm saying? So you kill the head, you kill the body. So when they trap you mentally and you give up on yourself mentally, that's a bad place to be in. So that's where the saying come from. Only the strong survive. And I always like to think of myself, I ain't no wimp, man. I'm a strong dude. You know what I'm saying? I like to look at myself like that. Like you said, I'm still human. You wake up on the wrong side of the bed someday, but it only lasts. It lasts me an hour or two, and then I be like, man, you around here moping, get your ass up. You know what I'm saying? I say that to myself. Nobody don't even tell me that.
This is a good topic for me, and I think what I'm gonna have to start doing day to day is like start taking notes.
Yeah,
like some getting old notes, and then periodically
see where you was at.
Yeah, periodically give people an update on what it is.
Yeah, and that's
getting
good.
older is like,
and that's good even for us to just ask each other. That might be something we got to do from now on. How you feeling today, man? Your legs ain't hurt you. You feeling good? How you feel mentally? And you might say, man, 10, I'm going through something. I need to holler at you. So it's good, and that's why they tell you check on your friends, even though they look strong. And strong people need that, and that go to another thing I always say. You're only as strong as your team, so people be out here. I don't need nobody and all that. We all need somebody, man.
I was watching a documentary. This guy went around these places in the world called blue zones, and they're the places where people live the longest. You know, people live up into their hundreds.
Yeah, like
And he said one of the keys,
like Oriental people.
So there's some things. Yeah, like Okinawa.
Yeah,
some places in Greece, a place like in South America. They're in different places. Even there's one even in California.
Okay.
But anyway, they all have some things in common, and one thing that they all have in common is you have to have a group around you. You have to have a tribe.
Take a village.
You know, people that you connect with, and that you all check on each other, you all get together, you do things, and and that's a huge part of it. And each one of these, even though these are all different cultures, they all have a name for it. Yeah, and so that's important.
Take it, man. Some days you help me get through. You know what I'm saying? You help me get through, and you probably didn't even know that. Just being there, that I could talk to you, and I know you a level-headed talking person. You ain't gonna egg the bullshit on. You gonna be like, listen, man, you gotta let that go. I know you one of them type of people gonna tell me that. So you done got me through some days where you like, man, I know it seems tough now, but you bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? So it be something so little. That's why I don't like people to talk to people negative. Don't do that, man. Don't do that. Oh no, you should have busted his head. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because
a lot of times,
you know what I'm saying?
A lot of times, you be in the heat of the moment, and I ain't no different than anybody else. Get all hyped up about something.
I just told you, but I come down real quick.
And then a lot of times, all it take is a good night's sleep, man, and let that shit roll around, and you wake up the next day with a whole different perspective on what just happened.
Cause you be like, man, I'm gonna through 62 years away of my life in 30 minutes. I would have threw my life away in 30 minutes.
I go home and tell the old lady this didn't happen, and she just looking at me like, what?
You didn't get yourself, you didn't get made this age to be silly like that. Yeah. So teamwork definitely makes the dream work. Like this right now, I can't do this by myself. You make this go, we make this go together. You know what I'm saying? Just having a good spouse, that makes life better. That makes, like they say, people don't want to die old and lonely. They don't, man. That ain't no fun, man. You even when you sick one day, you can't get nobody to make you no tea. You got to muster up and get up yourself, man. I feel like shit. I don't want to. So you want to have a good partner. Man, I got you. Don't worry about it. What you need from the stove. Woo, that's teamwork. All of that is teamwork.
It's been a lot of talk. We've talked about this on the internet and in social media about relationships and marriage and high value and who should do this and who should do that. It ain't nothing like having a person. Yeah. Because I tell people this all the time. Me and my old lady, we could be at the house fighting like Tom and Jerry, arguing and fussing. But when we leave that house, if we going somewhere, got an errand to run, or a project we working on, boom.
Or if some come, you can be arguing with my people, arguing like a motherfucker. When we go out there against that world and I get into it, motherfucker, guess who will be there? I say my nigga gonna be right there with me.
10 toes down.
I thought you ain't like me no more, man. Shit,
Right. That was a minute ago.
It's us against the world once it's time. So you need that. Even with your child, y'all need to have that relationship. You know, people like that. I don't speak with my father. I don't speak with my mother no more. You need that, man. You need that. And that make everybody you know that talk like that, they be having a hard patch in life too.
Oh yeah.
They don't speak with their mother. They don't speak with their father. Their life don't be going particularly well either. Because you need that, man. You need that. You need somebody who's going to tell you unfiltered, you know you fucking up. Or somebody who's going to say, I'm proud of you. Like, that does stuff for you. Like, and it keeps you on a straight path. Because I know if I ain't had my mother long as I had, I would have messed up a lot of times during life, man. I probably wouldn't be sitting here right here with you. But my mother always held me in check. She held me accountable. She told me, you know, you don't supposed to be doing that. She told me, I'll go for it. And when something I did want to do that was good, you know what I'm saying? She's never been negative. She always just told me what it was. And she always be like, you know, I got your back, whatever you is. And that felt good to me. Because you know, if your mom and your dad tell you something, you can do something, you don't feel like ain't nothing you can do coming up. You know what I'm saying?
It hold a little different weight.
Yeah, my mama told me I could do it. Mama, I could do it. You know what I'm saying?
What you talking about?
Exactly. So you need that, man. G need each other in this. You know, some days I might not feel like recording. Say, hey, man, get your ass up. It's time to go to work. I might tell him the same thing. Hey, I got to do this. Hey, it's a priority. We got to make it happen. So you feed off each other. Bounce energy off the wall. Like I said, that's something we're going to do. We're going to start asking each other, how you feeling today, man? Even though we ask it like just a normal phrase, good morning or something. No, we're going to ask each other, man, how you feeling? You all right? You need something? Yep. You know what I'm saying? You need something that I can help you get through the day or whatever. You might say, man, let's go to Hooters, have some wing. I got something I want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Something little, and that'll talk you off the ledge. Us going to have Hooters and watching the game. And you'll be feeling good when we leave there after an hour and a half. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely. People and truth be told, it don't have to just be us. I mean, because we got a group.
Yeah, we got a small group, but we got a group of people
we
tight with. Yeah,
and just make a point once a month.
Checking,
get together and we hang out, smoke a couple of cigars.
Yeah,
have a cocktail or something.
I had a cocktail. I don't mess with them cigars.
That's right, you don't want to be polluting yourself with that smoke.
I can't take it. Them cigars be
That's
strong,
why I gotta smoke
man.
outside, man. I can't
cigars be
I
strong.
can't sit in all that smoke.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna play devil advocate for your mental state now, which is a great thing. Have you had somebody that you was real close to, maybe an immediate family member, and you watch somebody like take their life in front of you? They go through the court system, they go through the process, all that, and they beat the case. And you was around this person out there. Now I ain't somebody seeing them every day. Would you try to take revenge into your own hands? You was there. You know what happened. Or would you just let shit be?
20, 30 years ago, definitely.
You would have took revenge to your own hands 20, 30 years ago. How you figure now?
I think I might be a little bit more strategic. I mean, like, I'm not gonna just like pull my heat out at the courthouse.
You're the law-abiding citizen.
I'm not gonna pull my heat out at the courthaus.
No, you can't.
And get the blasting.
You probably would have did that when you was at 25. You know what I'm saying?
But something gonna happen to him.
Something gonna happen to him.
Yeah.
I kind of think that because I had this conversation offline or sometime with a person here and there, and I be saying the same thing too, G. I be wanting to be stronger than that, but I don't know if I'm that mature, man. For me to still, I know you're around and you living your life and all that. I would hope I can get to that point but that's tough, man. And I like to consider myself real strong mentally, but that's tough. That's a tough thing, man. And you feel like the justice system failed you. You pretty much know they failed you. I was right there when it happened. You know what I'm saying? So it can't. I'm like you. I probably be strategic or so.
Yeah, because I ain't trying to get locked up.
I ain't trying to get locked up.
Bottom line.
Just so y'all know, we ain't no old dummies.
But yes.
And we ain't telling y'all to go out there and do nothing to nobody because people are going through this as we speak. So we ain't telling you to go out there and do, but I know it's hard for people who have. Cause we just seen stuff on there, and people be like, "Well, I forgive them, cause I'm into God, I'm into religions," and I be like, "Man, I don't know if I'm that strong, man." But you never know how strong you is till you go through stuff. They always tell you that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But just thinking off the top of my head, I'm like you. I be like,
yeah, no.
I gotta get that food.
Yeah, I'm be sitting there, I'm be looking, I'm just be thinking. No, I'm like,
yeah, you think you finna go on live your life,
and then it looks better if it don't happen right away.
Sound like you thought of this before.
Oh yeah, got a lot of free time. Man.
A lot of free time.
But no, I couldn't. I don't think I could let that.
Yeah. I don't think I'm that mature, but hopefully we never have to go through that, and we ain't living them type of lives to where I hope and pray I never have to go through that. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know what you'll do. You might snap out in the courtroom. You don't know till you're faced with it. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, I ain't trying to go to jail. I don't want to take nobody's life either. But so hopefully, but it just feel good to ask people some questions to see how they feel about it and see what people be thinking and how people mind operates and adversity. Like you said, we talk about all this good stuff going on, but adversity do happen in life also.
Oh yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. A big thing that's been going on, had the internet on fire right now, is Drake and Kendrick Lamar.
They going at it.
Man, they been going. They took the gloves off too, man. They been getting real personal, and that's why it go back to what we saying, like, man, how far do you let it go? Do you let it go, or do it really go there?
I guess I'm just trying to figure out like how I got to where it got to, because
I kind of want to know that too.
Because everything that I'm reading, about the history between the two of them is Drake did a lot for him.
Okay. Kendrick Lamar.
Lamar.
Okay.
Yeah,
J. Cole, his career.
We don't even have to talk about J. Cole because he saw that this was way over his head. And he's like, he dipped right out. Like,
and out of the three,
I ain't even for that.
Out of the three, just as a personal person, that was my favorite and shit. But if you ain't built for that, don't get it.
Like,
they were calling him J-Fold.
Yeah. He like this.
Yeah. He like living it. And he kind of said it. He said, man, I kind of like sleeping at peace at night. And all that, this ain't for me. So he bagged out of it. And now, like 2 weeks after that, people like, I kind of see why he backed out of it. He's smarter than we think. Yeah. It's really like going deep. You know what I'm saying?
And then Kendrick, he kind of seemed like he kind of wanted everybody to acknowledge that he like number one.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. That's what he thinking.
But if I'm Drake, I'm like, you got to sell this many first before you can say
that's your whole thing with it.
If this is where you want to go, and then not to mention, I kind of help bring you on.
Yeah, people will say he didn't, but like you said, he had what was it? Kendrick had a popular song. I want to say 6 in the morning. It had that probably been J. Cole. I'm kind of confused, but Kendrick did have some popular songs with Drake. But all the people who going against Drake right now had popular songs. Rick Ross is really kind of fucking with. Rick Ross got so many songs that Drake was on that went number one and platinum. That probably when it did that of Drake, which I'm almost certain when it did that of Drake. Oh, Drake artistically, just making music and different type of he like the top of the echelon, like you said. So in my head, I kind of seen this story before when people run the game so long, people get together and try to conglomerate and take them down. I kind of think that's what it is, but you get some chatter, people talking about he mess with people, women. Then I hear some other stuff like he get a percentage of a lot of people money, and they just tired of it. But Kendrick, as far as what's going on, I feel like Kendrick winning right now because his work, he putting them out. But a lot of it got real personal, man. His dog. Yeah. He talked about him being, like Drake being a pedophile. He alluded to Drake having another kid he's hiding out here that he ain't told people about. I don't know how true it is, but that's the stuff he said. Then Drake rapped about him beating his wife and how you always talking about how black you are and your wife is white and black just like me. So, man, they swinging. They going low.
I just don't understand. the point of it all. Like,
nah, I
like
don't,
what's the goal?
I don't understand how I get that deep. I'm all for a friendly battle. Battle. Like, you can't out rap me. I'm all for that. But when it start going low, it's deeper than that.
At this point, if I'm Drake and who he is, because you the one that turned me on. I didn't realize Drake
the man.
had been busting for as long as he had.
Now 15 years, Drake been like at the top of the game. Man.
I'd be like, I tell you what, I'm gonna quiet down. I'm not gonna put nothing out for a minute. I'm gonna give you a chance to catch up.
And he kind of rapped it. He kind of said that in one of these songs. He said, "Man, you can't outsell me. You can't do this and do that." He kind of said what you said.
Yeah,
and I
chance to catch up.
Like we said, Drake a little younger than us. He's younger than us, so maybe he ain't. Cause where I think now, I'm like you. I'll just sit back and say, "You the man. Go on, do your thing. Then let me see how much you sell. I ain't gonna help you. I ain't gonna try to. We ain't gonna have no features. You ain't nobody get no features. Let's see what you sell. Let's see what you do. And then when you done, I come out. You know what I'm saying?
Because they had come out, him and J. Cole had come out with a song and they talking about the big three.
Yeah, they said the big three is Kendrick and us. Yeah, and then Kendrick said like...
that should just be big me.
Yeah, like I don't know if he took it like a jab or... I kind of think Kendrick, because he didn't, years back, he done said little stuff. I think he just want that crown, like I'm the man. But I'm like you, sell the records. I'm like, sell the record and shit. Yeah. And I like all three of these guys. Like I said, my personal favorite was J. Cole. But out of Drake and Kendrick, I did like Drake a little more. I love Kendrick too. But as far as this battle, the way it's going, I think Kendrick's winning right now. You know, I don't try to be biased. When it come to Art of War and stuff, I think Kendrick is winning at that right now.
He's probably winning only because Drake keep talking. If Drake shut up.
You think he should just shut up?
Post on social media, him sitting there with all his gold records.
Platinum.
And just say on the bottom, catch up.
That'd be cold. That'd be cold too. But you get the ignorant people who wanna like, nah, he said this, he said that. But I'm like you, at my age, that's what I would have did. But it was like Kendrick had a real strategic chess move. Kendrick dissed him. And then people was waiting on Drake. And I'm sure Drake was getting this together because he had like 3 songs in one. He made a nice video about it. He put it out. And 30 minutes later, Kendrick put something else out. Like, that's never like been did before. You know, people always go back to the studio, cosplay. So he's got this stuff loaded. People like, he was ready and shit. So then they went to somebody in Drake camp telling him shit. Like, how did he, was this prepared? You never know because people play both sides like that. But yeah. I feel like when it come down to it, my ultimate thing is I feel like they just want to get Drake out the way because he's been winning so much, which is hating shit. Like, they talking about it's rumored that he be messing with people, girls, or he must have did something. People be wanting people out the way like that.
Yeah, Drake.
At least that's how I feel.
I ain't never really.
You ain't no big fan. Oh, you listen to it, but right.
Yeah, I ain't never really messed around with Drake like that.
You ain't no hip hop guy like that.
But I know Drake, man. Drake, multinational, multi-platinum.
Oh yeah, he like a pop artist too. Shit.
Yeah, he got it. He got it on lock, and Kendrick got a lot of catching up to do.
So you get a bunch of people who ain't got a lot of shit going for themselves, and they root for that. Cause they like that. They like that. The people who are kind of more up top, they gotta try to not be unbiased because ain't nothing in it for me. Mm-hmm. I like to see a good friendly battle, but they've been saying like a lot of personal shit, talking about each other, mothers, and kids. Yeah. And he said, Kendrick, why you don't never show your kid? Because you always want to say you the black messiah. Your kid light skinned, but you don't ever show him. You don't want to show people that because you always talking about the black and berry sweet. So you ain't living in your truth. Then he said Drake ain't living in his truth because he don't embrace his white. He want to be a black. But I'm like, he is black though. Like, your dad laid the seed. That's what you is. His dad is black. No matter how much you try to get around it.
Like I told you, I sent a girl. She posted. She's like, Kendrick talking that shit. She's like, but Drake look blacker than his wife.
That's crazy, ain't it?
You know, so how he talking?
Yeah. That's crazy for you to throw that in there. I look blacker than your wife. Like, wow. A lot of it's silly to me, though.
Yeah, it is. It's all kind of silly to me.
Yeah, a lot. Like, when they get outside of just friendly battling, but just far as on wax the battle, I feel like Kendrick's winning. You know what I'm saying? I'm a bigger Drake fan, but I feel like Kendrick's winning.
I mean, I guess to me, as far as Kendrick goes, just trying to say that you number one ain't gonna get it. Somebody else got to say it. Drake ain't really said he was number one.
Like, nah, they just know it.
Everybody know it.
You know, he might brag about it rapping, but they know it. Cause they be talking about LeBron, talking about he the best player in the world. Y'all know he the best player in the world though. He probably ain't the best player right now in the world, LeBron, but y'all know who the face of the NBA still is. You know what I'm saying? So just like the WNBA girls, they like, oh, why they ain't get Angel Reese on the contract? Y'all know when it come down to it, who hyped this shit up. It was hype for her to beat Caitlin Clark, and last year it was hype for them to beat Clayton Clark this year. One name keep surfacing to the top. It's Caitlin Clark. You know what I'm saying? So, y'all talk about why they keep showing her. Hey, it don't just happen just cause. It's a reason behind it.
And I mean, Kendrick, it just seemed to me, keep grinding, doing your thing.
I love Kendrick. Kendrick raw.
And at the end,
we'll see. When the smoke clears, we'll see where you at.
You ain't there yet.
Nah, he ain't gonna.
And everybody
when it comes to record sales and all that, and like you said, I trip on that because people always be out. He better than Drake and all that. Okay, why y'all ain't buying his records and shit more than Drake? You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I feel like all three of them are very dope. That's why I think that's why people are looking for this competition, because they've been saying they the ones for so long, and people like just putting people against each other. And like I said, I'm cool with some friends. Y'all, I can out rap you, but now it's personal. And I don't be want nobody to get hurt when it come down to it. Because you get idiot fans who really think they in it. They run into somebody in the street. They'll really try to do something to them. So I don't want it to go to them levels.
Drake, if you look at it, I mean, Drake, he multinational, but he definitely got Canada and the United States on lock. So
overseas, all that.
Just off top, he got two countries on lock.
Yeah.
So, people, I'm sure there's people in Canada that know Kendrick, but
nah, they gonna stick
ain't
with
messing with him like that.
Nah, they gonna stick with their people.
And he ain't selling as many records because he ain't as many people on to him.
Yeah, he ain't outworking Drake. Drake put out consistent.
Drake put out a lot of music.
He put out consistent. He do a lot of features. He put out different types of records. You know what I'm saying? So he put out some Jamaican, you know what I'm saying, type shit with a Jamaican artist. He changed his voice. He rap. He know how to sing. So it's hard to beat a motherfucker who like that anyway. Like, I do a lot of different things, but I just hope it don't lead to no violence. I mean, I kind of liked it, like, man, but Kendrick is definitely on top of his head when it comes to the battle right now.
Now, what you said about, people saying that people are pissed because Drake be getting percentages off all these.
Yeah, I heard that. That's some of the rumors I heard too.
Hey, man,
that's the business.
You need to get you a better lawyer. That ain't got nothing to do with him.
Yeah. You tie your business up too.
I mean, it ain't like he hit it on another page somewhere.
Yeah.
Hey, man, it was right there for you. But at that time, he was that man. Yeah. He was that dude. And it was a win for you.
Yeah. Oh, ain't nobody worked with Drake and they been no loss for him.
It was a win for you. So, but now you won. Then he gonna keep winning, and that's how it go. That's the business.
I don't think he's finna go nowhere. Much of people try. Oh, that's the end of Drake, and Drake ain't finna go nowhere, man. Drake a hit maker. I don't think Kendrick finna go nowhere, but I still don't think he gonna get bigger worldwide as like you said, Drake, because he just don't put the work in like Drake. And his music, it don't go across all streams like Drake either. You know what I'm saying? He's like more, he's not one-dimensional, I say, but he's just not as versatile as Drake when it comes to making music. And they could try to say, oh, Drake got writers and whatever.
Something that Kendrick is like the first rap artist to win a Pulitzer Prize.
Yeah, he won a prize. Yeah, he won that. Yeah, he won that.
That's unusual.
Yep, he won that. So I mean, no, he dope, and every right, he's dope, and his
lyrics,
mom and dad from here, right?
They
from Chicago. So yeah,
I mean, he
he tight.
Your favorite term, he can turn a phrase. I mean,
no, Kendrick tight now.
He can go. But I would say to me, and I ain't no expert, but Drake make more popular type stuff.
He hit. Yeah. Oh yeah,
he can hit a lot.
Like
of
I said, he
areas.
can be a pop artist. So yeah, he can. So that make it hard, like you said, to compete with like that.
Yeah, Kendrick is kind of
like when Lauren
more.
He like in
the
pocket.
It's only a certain group.
And that's what Drake made jokes about. You be rapping like you trying to free the slaves all the time. Like you think you're a fake black messiah and you got a white queen. So that was this big play on it and shit. Is you pro black or you ain't like, but that's kind of the pocket of his music too. So
yeah,
and Drake is like this, like you said. So, but I just don't want nothing to turn violent. I mean, I like it even if they put out some other songs.
I don't think that because they ain't neither one of them that tight.
Nah, I just but that's why I said it'd be other people.
Some of their fans.
Yeah, it'd be other people in your entourages, and so hope they got that under control. But I like it, man. So I'm sure we ain't gonna hear the end of this, man. Kendrick Lamar, Drake battle, man. I mean, I like it. I feel like Kendrick winning the battle right now. I can't lie, much as I like Drizzy, but it is what it is. What you got to tell people before we get out of here, man?
Like I usually say, love yourselves, love one another. I think I'm going to try to really give a little more insight or a little more thought to what it really is like getting older. And maybe I get some updates in the future. What's going on, the things that I notice, the things that I perceive getting older. I got a couple of things in mind that I want to talk about, but, we'll see.
We'll save for the next show.
Yeah.
And, all I want to say to the people out there, man, hey, learn reality from fake. Use your own brain, like my mom and them always told me, Ray. Use your damn brain. My mama got mad sometimes I use my own brain, because then it work against her, but she like it in a certain sense, too. I ain't just going to go off what somebody else tell me. I want to say, I know G don't mean me no harm, but even he tell me go iffy. I'm going to go research it. You know what I'm saying? And it might have went over his head. He ain't catch it. I don't think he trying to set me up. It just... We got it out here. You Google, you have it in your hand all the time. You can just Google anything. So y'all read books. You Google something positive. Like G said, all that Atlanta Housewives, that shit cool sometimes. But make sure you get some positivity and up in that motherfucking nugget too. You know what I'm saying? Don't have it full of bullshit. So that's why you always think negative. That's why a lot of people think negative, because that's all they surround themselves with. So you surround yourself with some positivity, I guarantee you'll feel a little better and your stuff will come out more positive to you. But with that being said, we out of here.